Welcome to your daily focus for April the 10th, 2018. My name is Tilly, and this is Tarot with Tilly, and thank you. Thank you, Tilly, for all the positive, loving, supportive energy you send my way each and every day. Now, let's turn to the cards and see what they're going to reveal about the energy around us so that we can use it in a positive light to move forward. And we have the Empress. So, we are told to stay grounded today, to think about our future, to think about the new starts, the new beginnings. Seven of Wands right in the middle. Many times this is shown as we are standing above other people and ready to go on our way. And before we turn, before we start going forward, we announce to everybody what we are doing in hopes that they'll follow us, in hopes that they'll support us. And the Ace of Swords. The Ace of Swords is becoming commonplace. Let's put the cards away. So new beginnings, new starts. I was a little hesitant here because I do know that we do have the Sun squaring Pluto either today or tomorrow. So usually we'll feel that kind of energy beforehand anyways and afterwards. So regardless, I thought, oh, we're going to get some nasty cards here today, but no, we have great cards, don't we? We have the Empress, the Seven of Wands, and the Ace of Swords. Now, the Empress, she's one of our highest intuitives in the deck, and she is also one of our highest diplomats in the deck. All the queens, all the royalty come to her, and they say, we need this in our kingdom, we need that in our kingdom, this is going wrong, this would be helpful. And she has to take this all in. And she has people around her, surrounding her, that are going to give her advice on which way to go with this and which way to go with that. But at the end of the day, she has to process it all. And she has to make her decision, and she has to stand next to her decision. So she knows when she makes a decision if it's right, if it's true, if it will succeed. There's no hope or wishful thinking when she executes a plan forward, because she knows that she's done the research. She's revisited it. She has planned it out. She has asked validating questions. Now, the Empress is about, usually in a deck of cards, she's shown as somebody who's prominently pregnant, giving birth, new starts, new opportunities, new relationships. So that's where our focus is going to be. It's going to be not so much, even though we are still in the full moon energy until Sunday, and we are still in the Mercury retrograde energy. Well, Sunday it goes stationary direct, but we still have to go through that shadow period. But things do start to get a little easier for us. We're going to have a tendency to look forward rather than backwards today. Seven of Wands. Knowing the energy in the sky, we may stand our ground whether we are right or wrong. We won't listen to opinion, or maybe people won't listen to our opinions. Okay, this is where in many of the weekly readings, I warned you about ego taking over. And I would almost say, he looks a little stern in this picture. He doesn't look too happy. He doesn't look like he's off into his new beginning, his new start. He actually looks like he is in a confrontation over his new beginning, his new start. So be careful of any kind of confrontation. It will solve very little today except bruise egos, hurt feelings, burn bridges, put closure and endings to something that we didn't want a closure or ending to. So we need to go back to the Empress and be that diplomat, not speak until we have thought it out, to not act until we have thought it out. What is the end result you want from what you were going to say, the action you were going to do? the behavior you were going to exhibit. What was the end result that you wanted? Did you want everybody mad and upset? Did you want everybody to work in harmony? Did you need to put an ending or a completion on something and you just used the wrong words, but it came out that way anyways? So think it through. Take a deep breath. You ever have an argument with somebody and there's words exchanged, and then you get home and you're replaying it in your head and you're like, oh, I should have said that. Oh, that would have been good. Why didn't I think of that? That was like obvious. Had you thought about it, had you backed up for a second, that thought probably would have come to you. But we get into the heat of the moment. And so mindful breathing is probably paramount today for us. And all it is, nobody knows you're doing it, okay? Is all you're doing is you turn your focus to just your breath. You don't have to do deep breaths. You don't have to do any kind of special breathing exercise. Just pay attention to only your breath going into your body and out, and in and out. And let your subconscious do a little bit of work, background work, while you're doing that breathing. Turn off the chatter in your head for just a few seconds. And you will find that you are calmer and you are clearer and you are more direct when you do finally state something, when you finally do something. We have the Ace of Swords. It's asking us to get ready to step upon that path, to put action behind our commitments. And there has been so much in the energy over the last, well, I think since the new year, about our commitment. The commitment we're making to ourselves, to others. And it's okay to say, I'm going to do this, or I'm going to do that, I'm going to lose weight, but unless you actually put action behind it, nothing ever materializes. It ends up being a fantasy. It ends up being nothing more than a wish. The sword is about your dreams of stepping forward, but the action plan also that goes with it. Yielding that sword, making those decisions, soaring up to the heavens with your ideas, your thoughts, and then putting the commitment behind it and getting ready for the action that needs to follow. Let's get the good tarot out here for an affirmation for today. So very much like the Empress, think about those new beginnings, those new starts. I mean, we have the new moon in Aries, and that's when the true new year starts in astrology, that new moon energy, bringing it all into line for new beginnings, becoming the pioneer, standing in our independence, opening up ourselves to our dreams, our goals, our desires. And this one is, it's conjunct with Uranus, and that's all about the new beginnings out of seemingly nowhere. So expect, keep your, just keep your mind open to the possibilities. Don't get too rigid in your thoughts of how everything needs to transpire at this time. The Ace of Fire shows up. The Ace of Fire, so two aces within this reading. And whenever aces appear in a reading, we know that the path is there waiting for us, but we haven't actually got to that point where we are stepping on the new path. Ace of Fire is spirit-powered action, inspired transformation, access to co-creative power. Spirit, when I feel my connection to spirit, I see an unlimited potential for transformation. There is no reason to fear because I am supported fully in imagining something new and daring to make it happen. This is a time to dream big. I can be bold and free because spirit inspires me to turn my dreams into reality. I love it when it all goes together so easily. I am supported fully in imagining my new beginnings, my new starts, what I want to step into, who I want to become, what I want to do. I can be bold and free because Spirit inspires me to turn my dreams into reality. So allow yourself to get inspired about your tomorrow, excited about your tomorrow. And yes, dream daring things, dream something new, original, unique. It's okay to. Dream it bigger. That I told several signs. Whatever your dream is, you need to add to it. You need to expand it. You need to open up the pathway to more and bigger and better. And that's exactly what these cards are asking us to do. Just watch that chip on your shoulder. You don't have to prove anything to anybody. You just have to do it for yourself. And trust me, people will know what you're doing when you start making a difference. So we had the horse turnover. Freedom. He jumped right over. He wasn't giving me any other alternative. So we've got the horse. So, and you know what? You know how you got here. You know how you got to this moment in time. You know the chaos you had to go through, or still going through, or just starting to go through in order to get to this moment in time. And you know what? There's many times in your life you probably put your head in your hands and said, I don't know how I'm going to get through this. I don't see a way through. And yet here you are. So you did it. And you need to take credit for that. Pat yourself on the back. It doesn't matter if everybody else knows, if everybody else has a different opinion than you, a different idea than you. Don't get so caught up in other people's thoughts and words today. Get caught up in your dreams, your desires, your wants, and get ready to put action behind it. Freedom, transformation, free spirit, move, and courage. The secret of happiness is freedom. The secret of freedom is courage. Horse has a powerful message to share with you in regards to your time and transformation and newfound freedoms. Sometimes it's easier just to sit in your fuzzy PJs and hope that life will change, and yet you continue to allow yourself to be shackled away from your true spirit and your soul. However, Horse tells you that it's time to dream big. It may be time to make changes within your current relationships, whether romantic or platonic, or it could be that you feel stifled by your current career choice. Freedom doesn't mean that you have to give up your entire life, but instead allow yourself to disconnect the anchor from the anchors tied around you. It takes courage, and the end result will be a positive one. Spend some time in nature, taking in the feeling of the wind in your hair. Breathe in nature's goodness and just be. Just a few moments of solitude each day can allow your soul to reboot and clear itself from life's toxicities, freeing it in order to see the proper path. Horse could also mean that it is time for you to move house locations into the country. So yes, once again, we get this. Just take a few moments of solitude. Just take that. You can be standing in the grocery store waiting to check out and just pay attention to your breathing. And if a thought comes in, you know what it does is a thought will come in and you say, okay, there's a thought. I'll go back to thinking about my breathing. We don't get attached to it. We don't judge it. We don't try and fix it. We don't try and brainstorm about it. We just acknowledge that a thought showed up and we push it away as we go back to our breath. But what it does, so your mind always has that chatter in its head. We realize it a lot when we go to sleep at night because, well, that's when we finally quiet, right? We're ready to go to sleep. And all of a sudden, that chatter comes up. But that chatter has been playing in your head for most of the day. You're just too busy doing everything else to really acknowledge that the chatter's going on. But when you stop, you start to see what things are coming in. Are there fears coming in, anxieties coming in, worrisome thoughts coming in, or are they beautiful? Are they magical? Do they have a sparkle to them? And so what kind of thoughts is going through your mind as you go through the day? So just take a few moments of solitude to reboot and clear yourself. Clear your mind of all those stresses that build up in your day. Feel the freedom. It takes a courage, and you'll be glad you took that step in the right direction. Until we meet again, remember, I do love you.